Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with a progress report on the stamp organization. So I will tell you that I have touched and looked at and somewhat thought about every loose stamp that I own. I haven't looked at any of those that are already in the clamshells, but they'll get investigated soon enough. I've got all my storage here. These are some clamshells. Some of them are empty, and some have stamps, and they belong up in there. These are some empty clamshells. So that's all my storage capability. I've found a couple of holders for things. So that's my storage opportunities up on these two shelves. Down here is virtually every stamp I own. And I say that, and I have my Vicki Boutin stamps kind of with my Vicki Boutin stencils in another room. I'm going to maybe move them in with these. But let me just kind of give you an idea of what I've done. I've taken all of the so-called mixed media stamps, and I've got some of the really large ones like this 12 by 12 feather stamp, and you've seen this mixed media stamp, and I guess I have another one of those big caramel stamps. And let's see, what is it? Oh, this one. This is the one that everyone really liked from that video I made last week. It's got the stampy circles. And I've got a few other things there. I found some Donna Downey stamps that are large foam stamps, mostly florals and botanicals. And I had forgotten that I even owned those. So those are kind of to be addressed, shall we say. I went through these books, and in the loose stamps over here, I found these two sets of Tim Holtz stamps. I'm going to file those with the other Stampers Anonymous Tim Holtz stamps. I even found a stencil, my guitar stencil. So I will I'll hang that over with the stencils. I kind of know where to categorize that and how to hang it. Went through all of these lawn fawn stamps. There are small ones and large ones, and most of them have the stamps and dies, and I've kind of tied them together with this twine. I've found my stamp chamois, and I'm keeping that with lawn fawn. In that search, I found some stamps that don't have dies, and some dies that don't have stamps. This die set of scripty words was supposed to go with a set of stamps, but I actually use the scripty words as, just die cuts. So I just, for my own purposes, I can't tell you what those words say. So I may look for the stamp set, and I had thought maybe I had it in this mess of stuff, but I didn't. So I may look for that, or at the very least, I'm going to cut all those words out and maybe glue them to the back of here so that I know what the words are. And then I have this stamp set that apparently I never got the dies for. Then I have this set of dies that, these are ocean waves. It's lawn fawn, but it's actually really useful for general purpose use. So I think I'm going to store that with the dies and not with the stamps. That doesn't go with stamps. I do have a set of stamps here, like C. Here you go, under C. I forget what the set is called, but it's got lots of undersea images, and I've got the dies, and I've also got the dies to make a porthole, and that's just beautiful for cards. I love the cards I've made using that, and I got this to go with that at the time because it, it was to do with undersea, and but I think I would have more use for this cutting scalloped borders and all kinds of other purposes that for general use. So I'm going to store that separately. This box right here are the stamp sets that I have judged to be, let's see, there's another Tim Holtz set. Ooh, I could use that this time of year. Those are beautiful. Anyway, these are all the ones that are generally, I went through every one of these. Most of them have packaging that's intact. Some of them are just loose like this with the front and back bits, and I'll determine in my final analysis whether those stay like that, and I will look for some packaging that fits, or whether I'll divide these up and put them in clamshells. So that's a decision to be made down the road. But as I was going through here, I found stamp sets that were missing stamps, like this stamp set that's in this clamshell is missing one of those little circles, this one right here. And I know for a fact that and when I was going through pulling things out of boxes, I found a loose one of those. So my big project, probably you might work on it tomorrow or Sunday, or I'm recording this on Friday, so tomorrow is Saturday, that's when this will be published, but so I'll work on this Saturday or Sunday, is to go through here and match loose stamps with stamp sets that they belong to and figure out how they're going to be packaged so that they don't come apart again. Match up some of these dies that I know go with stamps, and so this is my mismatched stuff right here that kind of needs to be analyzed first. Then I will kind of, on a grander scale, kind of go through, and one of the things I had done and I noticed it when I went through all my lawn fawn stuff, I have several sets of what I would call cute stamps that are similar to lawn fawn. I'm trying to see if I can find any now. And they might well, it might make sense. They're primarily for card making, but what's good about them is they have cute images that can be stamped and colored or stamped on pattern paper and then die cut or fussy cut out, and for homemade embellishments. And I'm always looking for little shapes and images for things, and I tend to look in my stickers and my ephemera, but I can make my own stickers and ephemera with all these stamps. So that's my takeaway from this project, is I may never have to buy another embellishment that anyone else has made because I can stamp and color and create my own. That's not going to happen, of course, but that's what I'm going to do. I love the florals, for example, in this set of Hampton Art stamps. There are florals and leaves and leaf sprigs and things, that images that I really love to kind of tuck into to layouts, and there I could probably make an infinite number of different clusters just with these stamps. And I've never used this stamp set. It was $3.99, and it's They're easy to layer, they're images. Just as an example, if these images were printed on a piece of pattern paper, I would fussy cut them out and use them all over the place. But because they're stamps, you know, it's just ridiculous. I haven't really maximized my use of these things. So these can be divided into kind of words, images, abstract kinds of things. Like this is a set. This is Tim Holtz stamp set again. I have used this a lot. I love that particular collection of circles, and I like that starburst. I have a stencil that does that starburst, but this is a stamp and it's a little bit smaller, and it kind of looks nice, kind of coming out behind a photo layered on top of some other mixed media. So I'll kind of separate those. I've got lots of tropical images, and then, you know, so there's some organization that has to be done there. I'll certainly address all of this and try to figure out how best to store those. But the first thing I'm going to work on is matching up all my mismatched where things are missing or have lost packaging. I know, for example, that this came out of one of those clamshells, the one for background stamps. And I just use this a lot, so maybe it should be more accessible, or maybe that's plenty accessible enough if I know where it is. So there's some of that kind of thought process to go through. But at the moment, every stamp I own is here. Now, the exception to that is I do have some Halloween stamps with my Halloween themed drawer, and I have Christmas stamps in my Christmas themed storage unit. And I noticed there were some Christmas and Halloween things in here, so I will be pulling those out and putting them with their theme partners. But some of them didn't have packages, so I didn't do that. So that's kind of what I'll be working on. I'm hoping there will not be a video on Tuesday. I'm going to work on this all week, and hopefully I'll have a good scheme. I'd like to get those labeled and these clamshells filled and all of this kind of understood and categorized. And I'll see you next Saturday. So thanks for watching, and thanks for following along on my grand adventure. I'm thrilled to be doing this, and many of you know that I'm part of a group called the Freeze Gang, and we're doing a spending freeze, and I have exceptions out there for the 2 kits that I subscribe to, my 2 kit subscriptions, which is enough of an infusion of new stuff in with all of the old stuff I own. And I said today that the spending freeze is just really easy now that I'm doing this organization project, because I'm becoming reacquainted with things, and stamps are so important to be reacquainted with. I remember, for example, I was in a challenge that required an image of a car or something about cars, and Calvin Ball often has a point for putting on some mode of transportation, a car, a plane, or a train. And here I've got this little stamp. I could just stamp this 1,000,000 times on different pattern papers or on white paper and color it different colors to go with the thing. And I've got my car, and I really don't have to go around, you know, cutting cars out of pattern paper or looking for car ephemera. So anyway, just an example. So I'm gonna head back into the universe, hang up I'm going to put this die with the dies, and I'll hang up my guitar stencil, and I'll see you next Saturday. Bye.